I'm not teaching now. More time because of the time. Right. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Just starting. Shall we start? Right. Take a tune, please. So we're gonna start up with a new chapter today. That is already on your tools. That is the unit number 10, chemical bonds. Chemical bonds. Right. Listen now. So already we learned about these atoms, elements, and all again completely. An atom becomes an ion when the electrons are exchanged. Okay, when the electrons are exchanged, an atom becomes an ion. An atom becomes an ion. So when the electrons are exchanged, means sometimes the electrons are removed, sometimes the electrons are accepted. So we learned about them completely, referring with the periodic table. Okay. So whatever. When these electrons have been exchanged, they make a bond. These bonds are called chemical bonds. What bonds are they? Chemical bonds, right? So upon the exchange of electrons between two atoms, minimum two atoms, or more than two atoms, maybe the same type of atoms or different types of atoms, they make a bonding. They make an attraction between them. So this is what we term as a chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. Read the first line there. The attractive forces. The attractive forces for building among the atoms or ions. Building among the atoms or ions resulted by the rearrangement of electrons. After exchange of electrons, number of electrons will be rearranged, right? So this is what we term rearrangement of electrons. In the valence shell for stabilizing the atoms of elements is described as chemical bond. So always remember, elements, these atoms, they exchange electrons to become stable. So out of the first 20 elements we learn, only 3 elements are stable. What are the 3 elements stable? The noble gases. What are they? Helium, neon, argon. Out of the 20 elements that we learn, only 3 of them are stable. They are helium, neon, argon. Because they are completed with octet of electron, 8 electrons are completed. Helium only 2, other 2, 8 completed. All other 17, the rest of the 17 elements that we are taking, they are not stable. So they want to become stable. So elements make bonds between the atoms of same type and different types. They make the chemical bonds to become stable, to stabilize their octet of electrons, to complete 8 electrons in the outermost shell. This is why they are making bonds. Okay, so that happens either by removing electrons, accepting electrons, or gaining electrons. If you could remember, less than 4 valence shells when we are taking, valence shell electrons when we are taking, number of electrons, if it is 1, 2, 3, they remove the electrons. If it is 5, 6, 7, they accept electrons. If it is 4, they share electrons. 8, they don't do anything because 8 is complete. So you have learned about it, right? So accordingly, they make the chemical bonds, and these chemical bonds when we take, there are 2 types of chemical bonds. How many types are there? 2 types of chemical bonds. So how these bonds are made, what are their properties, how to recognize them, distinguish them, this is what we are going to learn here. Okay, right. So could you please underline the first statement there? The attractive forces for binding among the atoms or ions resulted by the rearrangement of electrons in the valence shell. Always remember, electrons will be exchanged only in the last energy level. Only in the last energy level. So from the last energy level only these electrons are exchanged. Okay, these electrons are exchanged from the last energy level. Okay, right. Let's read them. Chemical compounds are formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements. Right? I want everyone to read here. This lesson becomes easy when the fundamentals are properly injected. So I have to listen from the beginning. Okay. So you see, chemical compounds are formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements based on their valencies. The outermost shell carrying electrons in an atom of an element is known as the valence shell. Underline that. Underline. What is valence shell? Underline. Underline. Understand the words. What is valence shell? That is the outermost shell. What is valence shell? That is the outermost shell. Partly listen for the lesson. Okay. Valence shell means that is the outermost shell, right? So atoms of some elements remove electrons to acquire the noble gas configuration, whereas atoms of some other elements gain electrons. Correct? No? I said group 1, group 2, group 3, what they do? They remove electrons. Group 5, 6, 7, they accept electrons. Okay, they accept electrons. Group 4, they share electrons. Okay. Group 8 elements, they don't know any changes. So that is depending on how to be stable, right? And the valence shell of, read with me, the valence shell of the atoms of group 8 elements has 8 electrons each. Because of the stable configuration, their reactivity is very low. Hence, they are referred to as noble gases. So, what are called noble gases? They are completed with 8 electrons. Okay, 8 electrons. If it is less than 8 only, depending on the number of electrons, they exchange. Is that clear about? Okay, right. So, how do we summarize this part? Look here. Now look at this. Let's say if electrons, the valence shell electrons, okay, if the valence shell electron is less than 2, can you tell me what they do? If the number of electrons, the valence shell electron, okay, we are concerning the valence shell electron. If electrons are less than 2, what they do? They remove electrons. Okay, tell me what it happens? They remove electrons. When they are removing electrons, what is the ion they make? Positive ion or else cations. Cations. Can you tell me who do this? Which groups? Which groups they remove electrons? Group 1, group 1, 2, and 3. Group 1, 2, and 3. These are the ones removing the electrons. Correct? Now let's say if the number of electrons is equal to, they share electrons. What are they doing? They share electrons. So when they are sharing electrons, what is the ion they make? Plus or minus ion, depending on the electron. Depending on that. What is the group? Group 4. Group 4 is. Let's say the number of electrons are more than 2. What they do? They gain electrons. What are they doing? They gain electrons. Who are the ones gaining electrons? Which groups? Group 6, 5, 6, 7, and they make negative ions. Negative ions means anions. So the group number 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7. So this is what you should remember when they are making chemical bonds. And group 8 we don't mention here because group 8 are completed with 8 electrons. Group 8 elements are completed with 8 electrons. So they are stable already. So I can write it as group 8, or else we say group 0 also, right? They are noble gases. But gases? Noble gases, or else stable elements. Why? Already they are completed with maximum number of electrons. So they have maximum electrons. Maximum electrons. So they are stable electronic configuration they got. They don't exchange. So no exchange of electrons. They don't have any exchange in electrons and they don't make any ions. No plus minus ions they form up. Is that clear? So that is for group 8. Why? They are the noble gases. They are already stable. They don't want to remove or accept or share the electrons because they are stabilized. They are stabilized. All others, they accept, they remove, they share the electrons to obtain this stabilized electronic configuration. Is that clear? So this is why the chemical bonds are made. Okay, depending on if they remove and accept or share, there are two types. It is something like one person is removing the electron. Okay, one person is removing the electron, another person is taking that electron. Is that clear? One person removes the electron, the other person is accepting that electron. So this type of bond is called ionic bond. What is the bond? Ionic bond. So what is the ionic bond refer to? One person removes an electron. It may be 1, 2, 3 maximum. Maybe one electron, two electrons, three electrons. What is the number of electrons removed by one person? Another person or several people gonna accept that. Only one electron means one person. Two electrons mean maybe the same person gets the two electrons, or maybe two people each one. Each one. So anyhow, what is the number of electrons removed will be accepted by another. So this is ionic bond. This is ionic bond. So basically ionic bond, what are we going to learn here is one person removes, another one accepts. So this is one type of bond. Another type of bond is there. It's very easy. Covalent bonding. What bonding it is? Covalent bonding. Covalent bonding means it is not removing and accepting from one to another. Rather, two people together make a partnership. Okay, two people together makes a partnership. So one person gives one electron, another person gives one electron. So 1 to 1. What they do? 1 to 1 they share. So earlier, let's say A has got one electron, B has got one electron. Before making the bonding, A has 1, B has 1. When both of them are shared the electrons, these two electrons are belonging for both A and B. So A also have two electrons, B also has two electrons now because they share the electrons. So partnership means something like that, right? So what they put in, okay, in a partnered way, in a sharing status, that belongs to both the people, So they share the electrons. So maximum like 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, not more than 3. So this is how they share the electrons. So accordingly, there are two types of bondings. One is called ionic bonding, the other one is called covalent bonding. So what is ionic? In easy way, one person removes, the other person takes. Okay, that is ionic. And covalent, one person, there are two people actually, minimum two people, they share the number of electrons. They are making a partnership between them. So these words are for you to remember. Same way you can't write as an answer. Same way you can't write it as an answer. You have to remember with this reference. Okay, right. Let's have a look. According to the way, there are two types. What are the two types? Ionic bonds, covalent bonds. Right there, please. Ionic bonds, covalent bonds. And please take a note. Please note it down. Note it down on your writing. Please note it down. Quick, note it down. If the note is clear for you, that is it. Right? Right. So I'm not going to read everything on the dude. You have to read them. I'm going to explain. Okay. Now we are going to break it out. Right. Look at this. Look at this part. What we learned now. What we wrote now. Look here. What is called ionic bonds? Right. The bonds formed due to the strong electrostatic attraction. Electrostatic attraction means between the plus and minus charge. Between the positive and negative plus and minus charge. Now we said, right, removing electrons means positive ions, accepting electrons means negative ions, right? So now plus 2 minus, is there an attraction or repulsion? Positive to negative, is it an attraction or repulsion? Repulsion. Plus 2 minus, does it attract or repel? Attracts, right? Plus 2 minus attracts. Opposite charges attracts each other, right? So this attraction happens between these positive ions and negative ions. So they make a bond called ionic bond. What bond? Ionic bond. So the ionic bond between, ionic bond occurs between whom? Either group 1, 2, 3 and group 5, 6, 7 elements. That means one of the element from group 1, 2, 3 with an element from group 5, 6, 7. So between them only there would be a ionic bond happening. Okay, ionic bond taking place. Right. So you see, an ion is an atom or a group of atoms with an electric charge. So what is the difference between atom and a neutral atom and an ion? When you take the neutral atoms, when you're gonna take a neutral atom. Okay, so this theory is already been learned. When you take the neutral atom, number of protons will be equal to number of electrons. How many protons are present? How many protons are present will be equal to its electrons. 5 protons means 5 electrons are there. 10 protons means 10 electrons. So this happens in neutral atoms. When you come to ions, it may be plus or minus. It may be plus or minus. Protons are not equal to electrons. Protons are not equal to electrons. Let's say if it is a positive ion. It is a positive ion. Positive ions means here electrons have they removed or accepted. Positive plus ion means are they removing electrons or accepting electrons? Removing electrons, right? Plus ions means removing electrons, right? Cations means removing electrons. I got 10 electrons. For example, I got 10 electrons. I got 10 protons also there because protons should be equal to electrons, right? Now, when I am making the ion, 2 electrons are removed out. 2 electrons are removed out. But am I changing my protons? Protons will never ever change, right? Protons be the same. Then who has reduced now? Electrons are reduced. Accordingly, in a positive ion, electrons are removed. In a positive ion, electrons are removed. That means protons should be more than electrons. What is the reason? Since electrons are removed. Since the number of electrons are removed. And when you come to next, Does anyone want to come here, please? All right. Negative ions. Negative ions are 10. I'm having 10 electrons. For example, I'm having 10 electrons. So I'm having 10 protons as well. So 10 electrons and I'm accepting 2 more electrons. Accepting 2 more electrons means I become minus 2, right? Why? Accepting electron is for gaining electron is for minus ions. That means number of electrons, is it increasing or decreasing? Increasing, right? Increasing, right? So number of electrons increasing means it should be proton less than electron. Electrons are more. Electrons are more. So accordingly, you can see here, an ion is an atom or a group of atoms with an electric charge, and it says that neutral atoms form positively charged ions by losing electrons. Right, listen. It was saying, look at your tube. Neutral atoms form positive charges. Neutral atoms form positive charges, positive ions by losing electrons. Like the same another line is that neutral atoms form negative ions by accepting electrons. Negative ions by accepting electrons. Okay. So, and the third line, what does the third line say? Some polyatomic groups too are positive or negative. That means some radicals are there. Some group of ions are there, like sulfate, carbonate, hydroxide. So group of ions are also there. They also may have a positive or negative ion. So accordingly, ions are made by exchanging number of electrons. Okay, right. What is given there down? Could you have a look? Please read it down and please note this as well. Closer to the diagram itself, we can write. Here, quietly do it, please. Quietly do it. If anyone's speaking here, okay, while the lessons are going on, they can come here and speak. Others they will listen quick. Okay, so please go ahead. Since electrons are in, no, it's single electron. Have maximum electrons, so no electrons exchange. Yeah, in E, let's say E equals 4, E equals 4 means they may be removing or accepting electrons. Accordingly, this may be changed. Right? If it is a positive ion, proton should be more. If it makes a negative ion, proton should be less. That is how it goes. Please write this down and have a look on that page, the last part. Let's look here, everyone. So this is the bonding between sodium chloride, which usually comes in the questions as well. Okay, about sodium chloride. Sodium, can you tell me quickly, right? Sodium, what is the group it belongs to? Sodium belongs to sodium belongs to what? Sodium belongs to group 7. Group 7. Chlorine belongs to group 7. Okay. Can you please remind me the periodic table? Slowly. Don't shout. Okay, once again. If you are just showing, I'll pick you up. Open your mouth, remove the mask. Remove the mask now. Okay, not your mouth. Please repeat now. All together. Don't shout. Slowly. So sodium is the 11th element. Guys, listen now. Sodium is the 11th element. Chlorine is the 17th element. Okay, sodium is the 11th element. Chlorine is the 17th element. So now, let me take the sodium atom. Look at this. Look at this. Help me out to fill it up. Sodium atom, when you are taking its atomic number. What is the atomic number of sodium atom? 11. 11. That means protons should be 11. Electrons also should be 11. Okay. Protons 11 means it should be plus 11. Electrons 11 means minus 11 because proton carries plus 1 charge, carries minus 1 charge. Okay. Now what is the electronic configuration? 2, 1. This is the neutral atom of sodium. Same way, chlorine. Chlorine is the 17th element, right? 7 atomic number should be 17, proton should be 17. 17 proton means plus 17 it holds. 17 proton, 17 electrons should be there. 17 electrons means it should be minus 17. Minus 17. What should be the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 7. Now what is the net charge here? What is the net charge of plus? What is the net charge here? 1. How come it is 1? It's extra. It means right. How do we take net charge? Plus 11 minus 11. Net charge is 0. Number of protons 11, so plus 11. Electrons 11 minus 11 plus 11 minus 11 when you are taking it is 0. Right. So here plus 17 minus 17 0. 0. So you can see neutral atom. When you are going to take neutral atom, they don't have a charge. They have no charges. Correct, right? Now I'm taking sodium plus ion. So what is sodium plus ion? You can see 2, 8, 1. 1 electron is there in the outermost. So how many energy levels are there? Very slowly, okay? Because one example you have to properly understand. Right? So 2, 8, 1. How many energy levels are there? 3 energy levels, right? In fact, 2, 8, 1 means 3 energy levels. But only one person is there in the last energy level. Only one person. So just because of one person, we can't just keep the entire row free, right? What we do, we remove that one person out. So that one electron gonna go out. Okay. Once the electron has gone out, do we need this energy level? We don't want the energy level because no one is there. So you can see that sodium has become sodium plus 1 ion. Sodium plus 1. Why? This particular electron has been removed. You can see now only 2 energy levels are there. The third energy level is not. Okay. Then what happens when that electron gone out? That electron has taken to the chlorine. Chlorine was having 2, 8, 7, right? That means 7 to becoming how many electrons are needed? Only 1 electron needed. So that particular electron is what taken from whom? Sodium to chlorine. That 1 electron sodium gives. That 1 electron is taken by accepted by whom? Chlorine atom. So chlorine gets that electron. Can you see the same one? Unshaded, shaded, that is shown here. Unshaded is taken from sodium there. So chlorine accepts 1. Chlorine accepts 1. So since sodium has removed 1 electron, it is obtaining a plus 1 charge. You can see the difference now. Earlier only the energy level shown. Now there is a box bracket and it is showing you plus. Why plus? It is an ion now. It is not a neutral atom move. It is not a neutral atom because it has removed 1 electron. How many electrons removed has been shown here. If it is 2 electrons plus 2, it is 3 electrons plus 3. Like that we have to show. You understand? Okay. Accordingly, here, what happens? 1 electron is accepted, so it is minus 1. Minus 1. So you can see here, sodium plus ion, chlorine minus ion have been put. So in these ions, how many What is the atomic number? Is there any change in atomic number? Protons were not changed, right? Are you clear about this? Is the protons change? No. Protons remain the same 11. Protons remain the same 17. So 11 protons means it is plus 11, right? Am I correct? It is plus 11. Right? 17 protons means it is plus 17. Okay. How many protons are there? 17 plus 17. What happened to the electrons in sodium plus? Earlier it was 11 electrons, but how many electrons are there now? One electron gone out, right? Once one electron is removed out, only 10 electron, that means minus 10. Minus 10. You understand? Is it clear? Right. So earlier 17 electrons, now accepted one more electron, it becomes 18 electrons, means minus 18. Minus 18. Now tell me what is the electronic configuration here? Earlier it was 2,1, right? That is for 11 electrons. Now only 10 electrons are there. What is the electronic configuration? 2,8. That one we don't take. And here the one earlier it was 2,8,7, right? Now 18 electrons are there. 8. What is the net charge? 17, sorry, 11 protons minus 10 electrons. What is the charge now? Plus 1. And here 17 plus minus 18. What is the charge? Minus. Accordingly, you can see sodium is plus 1, chlorine is minus 1. This is how the ions are formed. Did you understand? Is that clear totally? Sure? Right. So what we do?